Hi, I've got some hot tips for you for your first tournament. First of all, before the tournament, make sure that your arrows are all fletched exactly the same. That's the nocks and the vanes. They need also to be initialed and numbered on the shaft, not on the vane, okay? And have at least 8 arrows for target and 5 for indoors so that you've got a couple of spare. The other thing to take, which is really awesome and handy to have if something goes wrong, are spare strings, some nocks, a finger sling, finger tab or a release aid. Also handy to have an extra arrow rest and all the Allen keys that you need for your bow. And in your quiver, make sure you've got 2 pens because one might go kafunk on the day, and also a pencil, and an arrow puller is really handy if it rains. Now, super essential is the food, so please take lots of food, some bite-sized snacks to eat between the ends, and of course your lunch, water, if it's a really hot day, sunscreen and a hat, or if it's a bit cooler you might need some warm long sleeve tops or a close fitting rain jacket. And if you're lucky enough to have a barbecue, take some cash to help support the barbecue. All right, so if you've got all that sorted, you are ready for your tournament. So go get a good night's sleep so you are rip-roaring and ready to go in the morning. Now, on the day of the event, who are the people that you're going to see today? The tournament organiser is key. They took your entry and your fee, and they also will organise the target draw, and they're good to talk to if you have any special requests or if you're going to leave early that day, so have a chat with them. The DOS, who is the director of shooting, they look after the safety, the timing lights, and if you're lucky, the music. And of course we have our lovely judges. Now they ensure the rules are followed and they do any calls on arrow values during the tournament, or if there are any other queries, they're great to talk to. Now, arrive at least 30 minutes before the scheduled bow inspection time. The first thing you're going to do when you arrive is find the tournament organiser, and they will tick you off their list. The next thing you need to do is look for the target drawer. This will tell you what lane you've been allocated, so go to your lane and set up your bow behind your lane. Next up will be bow inspection. This will be announced so you won't miss out. Go join the queue and take with you so the judge can check your bow, your finger sling, your finger tab or release aid, and your arrows. Now take all your arrows that you could potentially use during the tournament. That includes all of your spares. And remember, if you're not sure about something, just ask, because everyone is there and happy to help. And if you're not sure, then maybe someone else doesn't know either. So just please ask. Next important thing to do is to stretch. The practice butts will be announced as being open very shortly. Grab your gear and jump in the queue. So at the practice butts, here what you're doing is checking that your gear is all working correctly, that your sight isn't going to fall off, for example. It's also a great opportunity to start warming up your muscles. After that, keep stretching and put on some extra layers to try and keep warm. Now you might have also noticed the timing lights. Now these will count you down per end, and you will have 40 seconds per arrow. So for 6 arrow ends, that gives you a whole 4 minutes, and that's heaps of time to shoot all your arrows. Now the DOS controls these, and he also controls the whistle commands to help keep everyone safe. Next thing will be that the DOS will give you a 10-minute warning, and then the 5-minute warning will come after that, and then be ready to start, so be at your lane. And then archers to the line will be announced and the tournament begins. You'll have at least 2 warm-up ends, and then the scoring ends will start. So a little bit of shooting etiquette. Most important thing is no talking on the line when everyone is shooting. Also, if one of the other archers near you is at full draw when you're finishing, please stay on the line until they have shot their arrow, and then you can both exit from the line together. It's really nice to do that. And also keep your bow in your area on the line. Don't swing it accidentally into other people's space. Just respect the other archers and what they're trying to do as well. Don't be afraid to ask questions. The more experienced archers are super happy to help, and the most important thing is when you ask your questions. The best time to do this could be when you're walking up to the targets together to collect your arrows. That's really great, and just ask. Everyone's happy to help. Now, gear failure, while we don't like it, can happen. One of the things that can happen is that your arrow can fall off your arrow rest and fall into the 3 meter line. Don't try and grab it, just leave it there and grab one of your spare ones out of your quiver and shoot that. If you have any issues with your gear while you're on the line, just signal the judge immediately by raising up your arm and they will come over to see you. Don't wait until you've finished the end until you do this. Do it straight away. Move back off the line safely if you can, and then the judge will talk to you about what's going on, and you will have about 15 minutes to sort out what the issue is. The same thing applies for any medical issues like cuts, or if accidents happen, stomach upsets, a headache, a sunstroke, whatever it is, don't worry, just signal the judge and then they'll help you sort it out. Once it's sorted, then you get to rejoin the line and continue shooting with everyone else until the end. And then when it's completed, the judge will come back to you and you'll get to make up the ends that you missed, or you'll work out when during the tournament this will happen so you don't miss out. It's okay. So, scoring. What happens is that we do double scoring. This is when two people score separately from each other and you do your own math. And one person can call their arrows. Most important thing is not to touch the arrows before they have been scored. Then once they have been scored, you mark them with a pen on the target face, a little V, so that if an arrow happens to jump back out of the target face, you know which ones have been scored and which ones haven't. Next, you can pull the arrows. So main things to remember here is to have a flat hand on the target face while you're pulling, and please don't hold your other arrows in your hand, which can be pushing into the target face. Not good. Also, don't stand in front of the arrows when they're pulling, and check that no one's there, because we'd hate someone to get stabbed. Could get a little messy. Also, everyone has to agree on the scores. If you can't all agree, then call a judge over to confirm. That's all fine. If there are any line calls and you can't agree on what the score is, then pop your hand up and a judge will come over and they will inspect the arrow and make the final decision. Once that final decision's been made, no further discussion can be had on that arrow. They will then document the situation for their records later on. If there are any issues that you don't all agree on, then raise it at the time with a judge or with your coach. Hopefully it can then be resolved. If you still don't agree, there is a form that can be filled out, plus you pay $50 and the appeal committee will look at it for you. Woohoo! That's probably about it for what you need to know at the tournament. Hopefully you've had an awesome time. Now, the important bit at the end. What you have to do with the score sheets is make sure that they are all signed. This makes it official. So it's signed by the archer, the scorer, and a witness. Check that both score sheets match, that you all have the same scores. And if you're claiming any badges, write them down on the sheet so the DOS can see it. If you're not sure, then just leave it blank. You can fill it out later. Now, two people take a score sheet each and at the same time go to the event organizer where the scores are correlated and then later checked by the DOS and signed. It's important that the DOS has signed them so that you can then later claim badges. At the end of the tournament, you will be then able to collect your copy of the score sheet, and these will be put somewhere obvious by the event organizer. So go and grab it, because you'll need this to claim your badges, where you can send them into Archery New Zealand and fill out the Google Doc. You also want to keep it so you have a record on your progress. Now pack down your gear, and if there's time, help put away the targets or anything else that the event organizer needs. Bye!